Privacy. One privacy concern in the case of Wikipedia is the right of a private citizen to remain a private citizen rather than a public figure in the eyes of the law. 232 Note 6, it is a battle between the right to be anonymous in cyberspace and the right to be anonymous in real-life, medspace. A particular problem occurs in the case of a relatively unimportant individual and for whom there exists a Wikipedia page against her or his wishes. In January 2006, a German court ordered the German Wikipedia shut down within Germany because it stated the full name of Boris Florisik, aka John, a deceased hacker. On February 9, 2006, the injunction against Wikimedia Deutschland was overturned, with the court rejecting the notion that John's right to privacy or that of his parents was being violated. 233. Wikipedia has a volunteer response team that uses Noni, a free and open-source software fork of ODRS. 234, to handle queries without having to reveal the identities of the involved parties. This is used, for example, in confirming the permission for using individual images and other media in the project. 235. Sexism. Main article, Gender Bias on Wikipedia. Wikipedia was described in 2015 as harboring a battleground culture of sexism and harassment. 236-237. The perceived toxic attitudes and tolerance of violent and abusive language were reasons put forth in 2013 for the gender gap in Wikipedia editorship. 238. Editathons have been held to encourage female editors and increase the coverage of women's topics. 239. A comprehensive 2008 survey, published in 2016, found significant gender differences in confidence and expertise, discomfort with editing, and response to critical feedback. Women reported less confidence in their expertise, expressed greater discomfort with editing, which typically involves conflict, and reported more negative responses to critical feedback compared to men. 240. Operation. Wikimedia Foundation and Wikimedia Movement affiliates. Main article, Wikimedia Foundation. Catherine Martin 2016. She is seen with light skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes. She is seen wearing a black shirt. Catherine Marr became the third executive director of Wikimedia in 2016, succeeding Lila Tretikov, who had taken over from Sue Gardner in 2014. Wikipedia is hosted and funded by the Wikimedia Foundation, a non-profit organization which also operates Wikipedia-related projects such as Wiktionary and Wikibooks. The foundation relies on public contributions and grants to fund its mission. 241. The Foundation's 2013 IRS Form 990 shows revenue of $39.7 million and expenses of almost $29 million, with assets of $37.2 million and liabilities of about $2.3 million. 242. In May 2014, Wikimedia Foundation named Lila Tretikov as its second executive director, taking over for Sue Gardner. 243, The Wall Street Journal reported on May 1, 2014, that Tretikov's information technology background from her years at University of California offers Wikipedia an opportunity to develop in more concentrated directions guided by her often repeated position statement that information, like air, wants to be free. 244-245, the same Wall Street Journal article reported these directions of development according to an interview with spokesman Jay Walsh of Wikimedia, who said Tretikov would address that issue, paid advocacy, as a priority. We are really pushing toward more transparency. We are reinforcing that paid advocacy is not welcome. Initiatives to involve greater diversity of contributors, better mobile support of Wikipedia, new geolocation tools to find local content more easily, and more tools for users in the second and third world are also priorities, Walsh said. 244. Following the departure of Tretikov from Wikipedia due to issues concerning the use of the super protection feature which some language versions of Wikipedia have adopted, Catherine Marr became the third executive director of the Wikimedia Foundation in June 2016. 246. Marr has stated that one of her priorities would be the issue of editor harassment endemic to Wikipedia as identified by the Wikipedia board in December. Marr stated regarding the harassment issue that, it establishes a sense within the community that this is a priority, and that correction requires that, it has to be more than words. 247. Wikipedia is also supported by many organizations and groups that are affiliated with the Wikimedia Foundation but independently run, called Wikimedia Movement affiliates. These include Wikimedia chapters, which are national or subnational organizations, such as Wikimedia Deutschland and Wikimedia France, thematic organizations, such as Amical Wikimedia for the Catalan language community, and user groups. These affiliates participate in the promotion, development, and funding of Wikipedia. Software operations and support. See also, MediaWiki. The operation of Wikipedia depends on MediaWiki, a custom-made, free and open-source wiki software platform written in PHP and built upon the MySQL database system. 248. The software incorporates programming features such as a macro language, variables, a transclusion system for templates, and URL redirection. MediaWiki is licensed under the GNU General Public License, GPL, and it is used by all Wikimedia projects, as well as many other wiki projects. Originally, Wikipedia ran on UseMod Wiki written in Perl by Clifford Adams, Phase I, which initially required camel case for article hyperlinks. The present double bracket style was incorporated later. Starting in January 2002, Phase 2, Wikipedia began running on a PHP wiki engine with a MySQL database. This software was custom-made for Wikipedia by Magnus Mansk. The Phase 2 software was repeatedly modified to accommodate the exponentially increasing demand. In July 2002, Phase 3, Wikipedia shifted to the third-generation software, MediaWiki, originally written by Lee Daniel Crocker. Several MediaWiki extensions are installed. 249, to extend the functionality of the MediaWiki software. In April 2005, a Lucene extension 250-251, was added to MediaWiki's built-in search, and Wikipedia switched from MySQL to Lucene for searching. Lucene was later replaced by Cirrus Search, which is based on Elasticsearch. 252. In July 2013, after extensive beta testing, a WYSIWYG, What You See Is What You Get, extension, visual editor, was opened to public use. 253, 254, 255, 256, it was met with much rejection and criticism, and was described as slow and buggy. 257, the feature was changed from opt-out to opt-in afterward. Automated editing. Main article, Wikipedia bots. Computer programs called bots have often been used to perform simple and repetitive tasks, such as correcting common misspellings and stylistic issues, or to start articles such as geography entries in a standard format from statistical data. 258, 259, 260, one controversial contributor, Sverker Johansson, creating articles with his bot, was reported to create up to 10,000 articles on the Swedish Wikipedia on certain days. 206.1. Additionally, there are bots designed to automatically notify editors when they make common editing errors, such as unmatched quotes or unmatched parentheses. 262. Edits falsely identified by bots as the work of a banned editor can be restored by other editors. An anti-vandal bot is programmed to detect and revert vandalism quickly. 259. Bots are able to indicate edits from particular accounts or IP address ranges, as occurred at the time of the shooting down of the MH17 jet incident in July 2014, when it was reported that edits were made via IPs controlled by the Russian government. 263. Bots on Wikipedia must be approved before activation. 264. According to Andrew Litt, the current expansion of Wikipedia to millions of articles would be difficult to envision without the use of such bots. 265. Hardware operations and support. See also, Wikimedia Foundation section Hardware. Wikipedia receives between 25,000 and 60,000 page requests per second, depending on the time of the day. 266 needs update. As of 2021, page requests are first passed to a front-end layer of varnish caching servers, and back-end layer caching is done by Apache Traffic Server. 267. Further statistics, based on a publicly available 3-month Wikipedia access trace, are available. 268. Requests that cannot be served from the varnish cache are sent to load balancing servers running the Linux virtual server software, which in turn pass them to one of the Apache web servers for page rendering from the database. The web servers deliver pages as requested, performing page rendering for all the language editions of Wikipedia. To increase speed further, rendered pages are cached in a distributed memory cache until invalidated, allowing page rendering to be skipped entirely for most common page accesses. Citation needed. Diagram showing flow of data between Wikipedia's servers. Overview of system architecture as of April 2020. Wikipedia currently runs on dedicated clusters of Linux servers with Debian. 269. As of December 2009, there were 300 in Florida and 44 in Amsterdam. 270. By January 22, 2013, Wikipedia had migrated its primary data center to an Equinix facility in Ashburn, Virginia. 271. 272. In 2017, Wikipedia installed a caching cluster in an Equinix facility in Singapore, the first of its kind in Asia. 273. Internal research and operational development. Following growing amounts of incoming donations exceeding 7 digits in 2013 as recently reported, 49, the foundation has reached a threshold of assets which qualify its consideration under the principles of industrial organization economics to indicate the need for the reinvestment of donations into the internal research and development of the foundation. 274. Two of the recent projects of such internal research and development have been the creation of a visual editor and a largely underutilized Think tab, which were developed to ameliorate issues of editor attrition, which have met with limited success. 49. 257. The estimates for reinvestment by industrial organizations into internal research and development was studied by Adam Jaffe, who recorded that the range of 4% to 25% annually was to be recommended, with high-end technology requiring the higher level of support for internal reinvestment. 275. At the 2013 level of contributions for Wikimedia presently documented as the $45 million, the computed budget level recommended by Jaffe and Caballero for reinvestment into internal research and development is between $1.8 million and $11.3 million annually. 275. In 2016, the level of contributions were reported by Bloomberg News as being at $77 million annually, updating the Jaffe estimates for the higher level of support to between $3.08 million and $19.2 million annually. 275. Internal news publications. Community-produced news publications include the English Wikipedia's The Signpost, founded in 2005 by Michael Snow, an attorney, Wikipedia administrator, and former chair of the Wikimedia Foundation Board of Trustees. 276, it covers news and events from the site, as well as major events from other Wikimedia projects, such as Wikimedia Commons. Similar publications are the German-language Courier, and the Portuguese-language Correio de Wikipedia. Other past and present community news publications on English Wikipedia include the WikiWorld webcomic, the Wikipedia Weekly podcast, and newsletters of specific wiki projects like the Bugle from Wiki Project Military History and the monthly newsletter from the Guild of Copy Editors. There are also several publications from the Wikimedia Foundation and multilingual publications such as Wikimedia Diff and This Month in Education.